Hey YouTube, Peter Piper, the True Light coming at you on a Tuesday evening. Just watching the sun go down through the clouds. Off and on I'll get a ray of sunlight. It's a little bit, it's been overcast all day here in southern Rhode Island. Housekeeping, I'm smoking my new Peterson XL315 rusticated with P-lip, and it's a system pipe. Got a little spit well on the bottom. And in it, I am smoking H&H Blackhouse. It's my second bowl of this blend since I bought it for the first time. Very good blend. One of those blends that truly agrees with me. It's almost like it reminds me of a Balkan blend. I think there's a lot of Latakia in here. And there's actually some black, not black, but some dark-fired Kentucky, I think. You can get the description on, I think the best website I've seen so far for tobacco descriptions is pipesandcigars.com. They give you a rundown on the which tobaccos are in which blends. And this, of course, is a Russelette blend, the H&H Marquis series. And he's a master tobacco blender. He really knows what he's doing. You know, I don't think tobacco blending is just something that you can throw together. But anyway, I don't like all the blends he makes. Or I should say, among the blends he makes, I also partook today in some H&H Viprate. And don't smoke it on an empty stomach. It's one of those, what I'll call a cigarish blend. Best after a really good meal. Or I should say a really heavy meal. Yeah, I ate light tonight. I just had a tuna steak, like not even 8-ounce tuna steak. Put it in a cast iron pan with some ghee and some seafood seasoning. Seared it on both sides, and you can actually see how well done it gets by the pink in the middle. The pink, like if you do it on both sides, the pink shrinks down to a thin line. And really, tuna or even swordfish or any steak type fish like that should be eaten rare, unless you have to cook the hell out of it. And I like it. If you like sushi, you'll like rare cooked tuna or swordfish. That's all I had tonight. I was going to make some vegetables, but I said to hell with it. Go carnivore. Speaking of which, the keto diet's working out pretty well. Since I started it back in the fall. I think I weighed 250. Now I'm down to about 227, 226. So 23 pounds, you can't beat that. Took a while, but I guess every time you cheat, it sets you back. To get back into a ketogenic state usually takes me about 48 hours after I've consumed any kind of carbohydrate meal. 2 slices of I like what my dad used to call gravy bread. Like right after you make a nice big thick steak, medium rare, you get a lot of pool of that gravy. I like to take a couple of pieces of bread and soak all that up and eat it, and that'll knock me right out of ketosis, and it'll be another 48-hour trek back to the fat burning zone. This Blackhouse is some good stuff, man. So, just watching the sun go down and enjoying the fact that I don't have my watch on. I don't know what time it is, but I'm sure it's past 6 o'clock, and I love this time of the year. My mood improves. I must have that seasonal affective disorder, or whatever you want to classify it as. Winter sucks, man. Unless you're into winter sports like skiing or snowmobiling or something like that. And I used to be quite the skier, but now it's like every 10 years I muster up the energy to go skiing. And I got all my own equipment too, even though it's old as hell. Last pair of skis I bought was in 1996, I think. I look pretty silly out on the slopes there. They're thin and long, whereas everybody nowadays has the short, squat skis. But I got good binders on them, bindings, and good boots. That's all I need. I don't need another pair of skis. I would love to go skiing soon, though. Maybe next year. Keep saying that. This coronavirus nonsense is just getting way out of hand. And I'm thinking now, I belong to a professional organization, and we're having a 100-year anniversary of our section. It's IEEE, the Electrical Engineering Professional Organization, and the Providence section is having their 100th year anniversary on Saturday, and my wife and I are going to that, and getting kind of paranoid now about shaking hands with people and people sneezing. Just want to keep everybody at arm's length. Wear a spacesuit or something. I don't know. And you got the people preparing the food and everything, you know. Maybe it's all a bunch of hype. Maybe it's nothing. I don't know. But you know what scares me? What scares me are, of course, there's reported cases in every state, and you can go on the Johns Hopkins University map and see all the reported cases and how this thing is progressing. But what worries me are the unreported cases, the people that don't want to report it. Think about it. I don't want to, somebody might say, I don't want to be in quarantine for 2 weeks, so I'll just play it cool. And this same person, and they're out there, they're going to, infect the public, and this thing could get a lot worse. I hope it doesn't. And I wouldn't say I'm excessively worried about it. Although I will say my stock portfolio is suffering in my retirement account, of which I have several 401k, IRAs. But I've weathered 2 bear markets since I started actively investing. And I know a lot of people that sold at the bottom in the last one during the 2008 financial crisis, and you're never going to recover that. I held out, and it came back because I went through the 2000 bear market as well, and that was, I think it was worse than 2008, even though the market went lower in 2008. I think the 2000 market collapse was much worse because you had 3 big drops in the market. Which included 9/11, the Enron fiasco, and then right after the second Gulf War kicked in, it started coming back. And even though the 2008, well, it was a recession, but the 2008 collapse went even lower and took out those bottoms. It was pretty much a one-time drop. I remember the low on the S&P 500, which was not a closing low, but it was an intraday low. The lowest intraday low on the S&P 500 was 666 points. That's where the market dipped down to. You can just imagine and look at it on a chart of the S&P 500 if you don't believe me, or if you just want to see it for yourself. Look at the intraday low on the S&P 500 back in 2008, and or maybe it was 2009, because 2008 was when all the bullshit started. But the lowest low, and it was intraday, and it came back up, was 666. Bad omen. Well, this is coming up on 15 minutes. I don't want to strain you guys out, or stress you guys out, so I'll cut it off. But hang in there. That's what I'm doing. Hang in there. Think good thoughts. Do what you can with the things that you can. And there's stuff that you just can't do anything about. So trust in your higher power, whatever that may be. God bless you guys, and take care. Peter Truelight signing off.